Captain, I'm receiving an urgent docking request from another vessel.
Greetings from the Halcyon Parcel Service. Delivery is guaranteed within standard margins of certainty. I've got a special delivery for Alex Hawthorne of the Unreliable. With your permission, I'll see it transferred to your ship. It's a parcel, sir. A parcel is a shipment wrapped and prepared for delivery, sir. Opening a customer's parcel is strictly against regulations. HPS's no peeking policy guarantees that your deliveries remain confidential and HPS remains free of any liability. I am contractually obligated to deliver my cargo to the captain of the Unreliable under pain of fines, imprisonment, and censure by my superiors. That's the HPS difference for you. Service with civility. Stand by, Captain Hawthorne. An HPS certified distribution technician has deposited the parcel into your cargo hold in accordance with hazardous waste disposal procedures. They dispense 3 complimentary spritzes of Anti-Cleo's Citrus Squirt Air Freshener. That's the HPS touch for you, Captain Hawthorne. On behalf of HPS, I'd like to remind you that HPS is not responsible for any damage, defacement, or unseemliness to your parcel. Thank you for your patience, and please remember HPS for all of your future parcel-related needs.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? I request you do not wake me if I am sleeping upon your return.
Hawthorne, if you're getting this, something's happened to me. Got mixed up in some shady business on Gorgon. Should have known better. But I landed on something big. And now this job's an itch I can't stop scratching. There's a whole research compound left of the Sprats. I think I'm close to figuring out why. But something dangerous is closer to me. Got the job through one Minnie Ambrose. Top runger who just came into some money, was offering a hefty bit card for qualified help. Trust me, her money's good. Talk to Minnie. Take the job. If I ain't gonna live to see the payday, might as well be you. Consider us even, old pal.
Well, that fellow certainly seemed trustworthy.
I've gotten jobs from some unusual sources, but this is a first. Congratulations, Captain.
I don't mean to sound prim, Captain, but there's gotta be a better way to ask someone to do you a favor.
I just want to say, we gotta take this job. This is the closest I ever been to starring in a serial drama. Only thing we're missing is a couple cameras and a soundtrack.
At least this won't be boring.
Captain, the message contains landing coordinates for a small asteroid in the Charybdis cluster. It was recently registered to a Wilhelmina Ambrose. He was an old friend of Alex Hawthorne's. Lucky Montoya had a statistically significant tendency to encounter situations of extreme danger.
Well, yeah, I doubt this guy lost his arm filling out paperwork.
He was also the 4th best paid freelancer in the system. There are several hundred freelancers operating in Halcyon. Considering the numbers, Mr. Montoya ranked among the top percentile. This had less correlation with his measured aptitudes, which rank at or below average, than with a pattern of fortunate circumstances. Based on the condition of the limb, I calculate a 92.7% chance that Mr. Montoya expired from his injuries. There is what humans colloquially call a sprat's chance in a mantisaur's den. That is a very low chance, Captain. I have transferred the coordinates for Ambrose Manor to your navigation terminal. We can travel there when you are ready.
Hawthorne, if you're getting this, something's happened to me. Got mixed up in some shady business on Gorgon. Should have known better.
I find myself marveling at the complex simplicity of the Fibonacci spiral. I'm sure you know what that's like. Something vexing you, Captain? Perhaps it's just my judicious nature, but I think we should be careful if we're following up on this lucky fellow's message. I've always felt caution as the best approach when one is delivered a message attached to a severed limb. He sounded lost, perhaps slightly untethered from reality. A feeling I know all too well. It doesn't strike me as a setup, but I still advise caution. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Good to see you, boss. So we just sat around a table talking about a severed arm. Of all the weird things that happened on this ship, that ranks somewhere in the middle. You ever watch The Masked Marketeer? Episode 5 of The Masked Marketeer. First appearance of a recurring villain. Big ol' galoot, built like one of those industrial-class garbage compressors. His name? Tiny. All right, I'll explain. Every adventure serial's gotta have a supporting character with an ironical name. It's a rule of the genre. Masked Marketeer had a massive bruiser named Tiny, and we got ourselves a real unfortunate hullhead named Lucky. Coincidence? I think not. Exactly. That's what I've been getting at. We're freelancers. We take any job we can get. But this one? The dying message of a stranger. A severed hand delivered in a crate. Let's just say it beats flying around the colony running errands. So, of course, I'm gonna be excited. Hey, I get it. Gotta hand it to me. Severed hand. That's what you were going for, right? That wasn't what you were going for. Yep, I can tell by the way you're glaring at me.
Hey, Cap.
Sure.
Right now, I'm feeling like a canid following a trail of treats. Like I'm being misled at best. At worst, walking into a trap. Keep those eyes open, Captain. Hey, Cap.
I've taken the liberty of having Sam clear up some floor space. We didn't really need that crate of toilet paper, did we?
Something busted, Captain? It's a shame about what happened to that lucky fella. Maybe finishing what he started will help put his spirit to rest. Not a word. And I've been sticking my nose in every one of our stately ladies' crannies, stem to stern. Oh, law! That sounds untoward, don't it? That ain't what I meant. Point is, Captain, Mr. Hawthorne left all kinds of scribblings behind panels and under consoles, but ain't a lick of it mentioned Mr. Lucky. So whatever they got up to in the past must have been really extra secret. And lots of fun. It sure is lonely out here, on the edge of the colony. Anything could happen. And ain't no one gonna come to help us. Alrighty. You change your mind, you just holler. You know, whoever wired this ship up had no idea what they were doing.
We arrived at Ambrose Manor. Stay safe out there.
Welcome to Ambrose Manor. We were not expecting company. Please follow. Do not stray from the path.
Well, we're not known for going where we're told, but we'll see what we can do.
Oh no! We should check to see he's alright.
I've never seen a more effective argument against blindly following a preordained plan.
Responses. How clumsy of this unit. These things happen. Oh, calamity. This unit expresses dismay.
Those big empty windows. Feels like the building's watching me. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps.
People will go to extraordinary lengths to define themselves, won't they? This is just a facade to hide behind.
So empty. Oh, Captain, something here don't feel right.
This place has the distinct feeling of a crypt.
Oh my law, this is just like that episode of Virginia Yang, Girl Detective, where the old fella dies and his nurse inherits his house. What if we find a body?
Secret tunnel. Interesting architectural choice.
Dear Wilhelmina, I hope this letter finds you well. No, it's too stilted. It sounds like I'm writing to request a loan. Dearest Wilhelmina, I regret to tell you... Law, no, that's worse. When have I ever called her dearest? She's my daughter. This should be easy. How can a mother not know how to talk to her own daughter? My love, I can no longer... For your safety, I must... Oh, hell. Even if she despises me for what I had to do, I should still be able to say goodbye. Minnie, I have to leave, and I don't intend to come back. I love you. I'm so sorry.
Join me for a drink, Mr. Whoever you are. So who the devil are you? You don't say. Well, make yourself at home, Captain. I'm sure we have much to discuss. Do you see that glowing chunk of space rock? That's Gorgon. My birthright, my burden, and the bane of my existence. I hate to drink alone, and this is my third. So join me in raising a glass. To Gorgon. To Gorgon. May cosmic winds shepherd her to the nearest star. I'm Wilhelmina Ambrose, but you can keep it short and call me Minnie. Now, what brings you to my house, handsome? I take it you didn't come all this way for the beverages, the starry skies, or the pleasant company. A severed arm. How positively ghoulish. You know this is a private residence, not a curio shop? Really? Huh. Now this severed limb, did it have dark hair? Rugged knuckles? Chewed fingernails? A gunslinger's calluses? Aha! Mystery solved. I can only think of one man daring enough to jettison his extremities on my behalf. Lucky Montoya is my personal freelancer. Fascinating man. Very brooding and theatrical. Always staring into space and twirling a bullet over his knuckles.
The more lost we feel, the more we put on a show for others.
But if something happened to him... Oh dear. I suppose that makes him my former freelancer now? I sent Lucky on a dangerous mission to the Gorgon asteroid. Whoever found his remains must have wanted to inform the next of kin. What a time for his luck to run out. We were in the middle of something grand, and I really can't afford another setback. Settling an old score. How would you like to be my new freelancer? There's been a recent vacancy, and I think you're well suited to the job.
You offer work to everyone who breaks into your home? Must be some kind of Byzantine tradition I ain't know about.
I don't believe you thought this through. Or much else, for that matter.
I'm looking for someone rough around the edges. A gorgeous, dashing scoundrel type. Incidentally, someone good with their hands. I like my employees well-groomed. Appearances are everything in high society. The man lost an arm. What are the odds of that happening twice? Of course, Gorgon is a treacherous place, and my own family's involvement with it has been fraught. Allow me to lay out the facts, and you can decide for yourself if you want to be my chief investigator. My mother, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, worked for Spacer's Choice at the Gorgon Research Facility. She was brilliant, the top scientist in her field, until tragedy struck. I wish I could say otherwise. One day, Spacer's Choice shut down all research and evacuated Gorgon. Everyone had to scramble or risk getting left behind. It was chaos. Employees fled for their lives. Mother never made it home. I'm told she wasn't the only casualty that fateful day.
That must have been real hard on you, losing your mother all of a sudden like that. I'm sorry to hear it, ma'am.
Thank you. Ambrose ladies are supposed to be resilient to the unexpected, but this was especially hard on me. Mother's name has since been dragged through the mud. Spacer's Choice blames her for the collapse of Project Gorgon, and I just know they're lying. Everything you can imagine and more. Dereliction of duty, circulating anti-corporate memos, taking longer than average coffee breaks. The list goes on. Mother would not have allowed Project Gorgon to fail. Something happened on that asteroid, and my family took the fall for it. The truth. Mother is gone, Gorgon is silent, and I deserve answers. I don't know, and Spacer's Choice won't say. They don't discuss anything that tarnishes their brand. Gorgon has a dark history. The project fell apart. Personnel were shuffled across the system. With Mother gone, now I'm all that's left. No doubt someone is out there who could talk. Someone involved in Mother's research. Someone paid for their discretion. Then again, why pay for silence when you can buy it for the low, low cost of a bullet? That's the Spacer's Choice way. The asteroid may look like a glittering jewel, but I assure you the resemblance ends there. Gorgon is poisonous to the core. One might even say cursed. I admired Mother, but we weren't close. She disapproved of everything about me, really. I couldn't measure up to her example. She didn't make time for us. I remember thinking that she never wanted a child, and never forgave me for being one, naive and irresponsible as I was. No doubt. I only wish Mother was here to tell it in her own words. Mother worked herself to the bone. She wanted to make the colony a better place, no matter who or what got sacrificed along the way. She never spared a thought for those of us who cherished her, who suffered for her idea of progress. We weren't terribly close to begin with, I'm afraid. But that accursed asteroid certainly didn't improve our relations. Mother and Gorgon were made for each other. I had the misfortune to be stuck in the middle. I need your help, Captain. Project Gorgon killed Mother and disgraced the Ambrose name, and no one has been held accountable. Spacer's Choice buried the past like a dirty secret. You followed an uncertain lead all the way to my doorstep. You're curious, resourceful, and perceptive. All the marks of a good private eye. Whatever happened on Gorgon wasn't Mother's fault. I simply need the evidence to prove it. We're going to drag the truth kicking and screaming into the light. even if it means bringing ruin and humiliation to Spacer's choice. All the evidence I need should be in Mother's journal. You can find it in her office on Gorgon, in the heart of the old research facility. I'm not surprised. Between the family drama and the corporate conspiracy, it must feel like you've stepped on a landmine. Speak freely, Captain. I suspect it will prove that corporate greed and incompetence were to blame for the calamity at Gorgon, and not Mother. Mother was a brilliant woman. Difficult, cold, unreachable even, but brilliant. Spacer's Choice evacuated in a hurry, leaving a fortune's worth of equipment in their wake. Mother's journal would have escaped their notice. This is my last hope of redeeming the Ambrose name. I don't like my chances, but I have to try. And I need help. Your help. You know as much as I do, I'm afraid. Spacer's Choice abandoned Gorgon, but the asteroid is far from unoccupied. Between the marauders, the wildlife, and whatever escaped the labs, danger abounds. Toward the end of the project, I heard Mother grumble about some test subjects running amok outside of their enclosure. I wish I could tell you more. Just watch yourself. If you aren't careful, you stand to lose more than an arm. I didn't want to go anywhere near Gorgon. Once I exhausted all my options, the search led me back here. I even had Mother declared legally dead. Would you believe it took 5 years to process the paperwork? It isn't as bad as you make it sound, but technically, yes. Mother's body is still on Gorgon. No body means no death certificate, which means no inheritance. I killed Mother, just on paper, of course, so I could claim my inheritance. We wouldn't be standing here if I didn't have access to the family fortune. I once assumed the mansion and the money would be enough to redeem the Ambrose name. But even in Byzantium, prestige must be earned, and it can so easily be lost. Break back into high society, yes. I'm trying to do several things at once. None of them easy. The smear campaign against Mother was the work of cowards. I'm vindicating the family name for her, for the colony, and for my future. Everything that Mother lost. This colony is in trouble. The lunatics at Spacer's Choice are running the asylum, and we need better people to wield their influence. After Gorgon, I quickly discovered that the Ambrose name was cursed, for lack of a better term. I had no place among the decision-makers. No seat at the table. That is why I'm clearing the record and vindicating the Ambrose line. For Mother, for me, and for the generations who will one day inherit Halcyon. I'm counting on it. I believe that covers it all. Are you ready to get started? We mustn't allow the trail to get cold.
Perhaps then you can put your mother's ghost to rest.
You do all that for me? I was hoping you'd take the job, but I didn't expect you to care. I believe you're the first person to ever side with me against the corporation. It's a refreshing change. When you reach Gorgon, pack a weapon you trust. The corporate lockdown hasn't stopped the wilderness from squirming in through the cracks. I told him everything I've told you. Just the facts. Maybe a couple of harmless embellishments. Why? Still, you're smart to ask. Lucky spent most of our time together spinning a pistol around his index finger. Not sure he listened to any of my advice. But you won't let me down, will you, Captain? I've never understood why, but Gorgon is teeming with marauders. They almost seem drawn to sorrow and misfortune. Then there's the test subjects, those who survived anyway. Ravenous creatures left behind like so much salvage. Perhaps we should cut the Q&A short in that case. I don't want you having second thoughts. There's a little saloon near Gorgon's landing pad, the Sprat Shack. Lucky was renting a room, so if you want to follow his trail, that would be the place to start.
Oh, you think maybe they got a little mascot? Like a sprat in a tiny hat?
Just so we understand each other, money is no object. I'm willing to squander the family fortune if you get me what I want. Between your payment and any salvage you happen across, you'll walk away from this rich enough to buy a mansion of your own. How does that sound? A consummate professional. That shouldn't be a problem. Here's your nav key, Captain. Safe travels. Spacer's Choice should be the one apologizing, but thank you. Sincerely. A word of advice before you go, Captain. Trust no one. Mother's office is in the heart of the Gorgon facility. You're free to salvage anything that isn't nailed down. I only want what's mine.
Mysterious heiress, unexpected gainful employment. It's like something out of a detective serial.
Don't worry about us. We're well versed in helping ourselves to anything that's not nailed down.
How do you do? Someone's been snooping around. Not that I mind. It reminds me why I hired you in the first place. For your keen eyes and scandalous disregard for privacy. When I left home, I wanted Mother and Father to know the conditions of my return. I would stroll through the entrance with my head held high, or not at all. I left this place with every intention of returning once the time was right. Yes, that wasn't part of the plan. Fall of Gorgon accelerated my schedule. I thought I would find success in Byzantium. Instead, I must look for redemption back where I began. Here, in these vacant halls. When I arrived, I was the toast of the town. All fought for the honor of lighting my cigarettes. The attention was sublime. I opened a small firm to help young, impressionable heirs manage their family wealth. Business was good. For a while. Gorgon happened. With Mother's downfall, so too fell my influence in society. I sold the business at a loss. Then I hatched a plan to restore the family name. That plan, as you're now well aware, is still in motion. You reminded me of better times. I should be thanking you. The Ambrose family comes from old Earth money. We were pioneers, inventors, and chimerists. Always at the top of our field, never lagging behind. If there's anything else you'd like to know, speak on. A goodbye recording? I don't understand. Oh, but I think you're right. Mother left that phonograph because she knew something awful might happen to her. She knew Spacer's Choice wanted her silence. It's possible. But in the end, she never found the words. We have to find that journal, Captain. And when we do, Spacer's Choice will rue the day they crossed my family. Ah, yes. I've scanned her old logs. But I'm afraid they haven't given up anything I didn't already know or suspect. If you have any questions, you can trust me to answer them. I gain nothing by leaving you in the dark. Lucian was Mother's point of contact at Spacer's Choice. I'd call him high-ranking, but I don't think his job had a rank in the traditional sense. He once tried to recruit me to work on Gorgon, but of course Mother wouldn't hear of it. I never forgave her for that. And risk losing one of the colony's greatest minds to Auntie Cleo? I think not. No. In their estimate, I'm certain Mother was worth 10 of me. They did the math, and I came up short. A little bit of everything, I suppose. Manage personnel, keep an eye on budgets, see that goals and expectations were well defined. Chemistry may be my passion, but Spacer's Choice recognized my knack for administration. I would have taken the job and perhaps even enjoyed it. Did anything else in Mother's terminal glue your eyes to the screen? I so wanted to avoid opening that wound. But now here we are. Father was exposed to some of Gorgon's more caustic chemicals. I don't know how, but I suspect that Mother brought her work home. I don't know. It's possible that Mother carted him off to Gorgon for her studies. That, or she killed him and buried him under the floorboards, or bricked him behind a wall. I wouldn't put anything past Olivia Ambrose. He never defended me against Mother, never even tried to challenge her authority. Of course I care. I adored my father. But what's done is done. There's no two ways about it. Mother was vicious, and that's saying something in Halcyon. By that point, I was already living in Byzantium, trying to get out from under my family's shadow. You're very kind to consider my well-being, but if I'd been exposed, we'd be having a very different conversation. Yes? Of all the intrigue and mystery surrounding my household, that is what interests you. I do enjoy painting. I haven't indulged in some time, but it's a pleasant enough diversion. I honestly don't think I've been at it long enough to have a style. Painting is something I enjoy on the side, not something I chase to perfection. We Ambrose ladies have a way of ruining the things we love by committing ourselves to them. I've always been partial to Truth Emerging from the Well to Shame Mankind by Jerome. That painting speaks to me. It shows how nothing stays hidden for long. Your curiosity is charming, but do remember to focus on the job at hand. You do that, and thanks for your attention to detail. If Mother and I shared anything, it was our love of chemistry. Chemistry is a desire to understand matter, the very foundation of our existence. What Ambrose could ignore such a tempting lure? Yes? Ask anything you like, Captain. It's nice to have a competent partner for a change. I've told you everything I know. I trust you to investigate Gorgon and draw your own conclusions. If you can think of anything specific, all you have to do is ask. Of course, my dear Captain. I look forward to it. Regrettable, I know. We used to have a staff to maintain the grounds. Not just auto mechanicals either. Real people doing real work. Father loved his salt tuna. He was an avid fisherman, you know. But that was long ago. When they moved here from Byzantium, Mother told me he was heartbroken to learn there was no sport. So she bought him a pond for his sad, lonely amusement. Not as much as I used to. Who has time to slow their thoughts and bask in tranquility?
It's all that's really worth doing in this life.
I prefer staring out the window of my drawing room, brooding on matters outside of my control. Hideous, isn't it? I've been meaning to have that thing removed, maybe jettisoned into the sun. Spacer's Choice agreed to double Mother's research budget if she subjected her family to product placement. I swear those eyes follow me wherever I go. It's hard to find good help, and I'm not quick to trust anyone who'd work for me, present company excluded. I can worry about upkeep once my family name is restored. Until then, this manor is a base of operations. Very well. If there's anything else, you have my attention. Be sure and close the door on your way out. I feel a draft.
Where are we headed? I hope we can help Miss Minnie uncover what happened to her mother. I wouldn't wish the pain of not knowing on hardly anyone.
Yes, you caught me ruminating again. Guilty as charged. What's occupying your thoughts?
Remember this unit as it was before.